What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment. And first off, thank you to everybody who tuned in earlier to the live stream. I thought it went out really good. That's basically what I want. It's just like a chill vibe where we can just discuss what's going on, futures and past, just different stuff. And everybody has a different theory, and a lot of people have different teams they've been following. So it makes it really cool when we got dozens of people, with different takes or a lot of times with the same take. But I wanted to go into today's games. So 1 o'clock, we went unfazed. Even the games that I would have pushed Falcons because I would have had them -3. But all these games, and by the way, the Bills pushed too at the last minute. So for people thinking it's not scripted, last minute, Bills and Falcons both push. But all right. And at the last minute, the Eagles win. And here's the first one we picked. We had the Colts covering. Again, the logic is I think they want to show some chinks in the armor of the Eagles, and they want to show some strengths in the other NFC East teams. That way it's a four-way race versus Eagles are by far and away the best. So that's why the same logic I had with why the Cowboys were going to win. But I thought the Eagles would win a close game, and that's why I like the Colts with the 7. I thought it was a potential upset, but so we got that. I think that one, a lot of people were on the Eagles. Here was just a plain old-fashioned trap, and another funny ending, right? So we had the Patriots -3.5. I didn't think the half mattered in this game. It did seem like it was going to matter. It seemed like it was going to overtime, and it would probably be a 3-point game. But instead, of course, we get a punt return in our favor for a touchdown where nobody decided to take proper angles, and I'll take it all day, any day of the week. But more proof it's rigged. But yeah, so we got the Patriots -3.5, and another just obvious. This was just such a trap week. Saints Rams, as bad as the Rams have been, the public was going to be on them, with or without Cooper Kupp. And, of course, the Saints won. Now that keeps the NFC South interesting. At the same time, we knew the Rams weren't doing anything. And it's just a trap game. As was the next one. There's no reason to explain why the Lions here were only getting 3 on the road. There's no serious injuries for the Giants. It makes absolutely no sense outside of a trap game. Just like when the Giants played So the Giants played the Seahawks, and the Seahawks were 3-point favorites. Okay, so you would consider Giants-Seahawks pretty even. So if that's a 3-point game, how is this a 3-point game? You see how the spreads don't make sense? It's because they're completely psychological. So when certain victories happen, people aren't that surprised. Now, the next one we didn't play. We didn't play the Ravens. We did play the Commanders. The NFC Beast narrative. To me, it's a pretty obvious one. The NFC Beast is just basically, and they're doing it with the AFC as well. They want all 4 teams to look really good. I think all 4 teams are going to get in the playoffs. If you saw my NFC Beast video, I explained why. I think Heineke is a big part of that. And I think Lovie Smith here is going to be getting the first pick in the draft. So I think they're setting that up. And I did the live stream. If you were a part of it, we were able to get in on a live bet. It was the first official live bet that we hit. Of course, I can't do it unless... actually, we've hit a lot in the Discord, but we did a live stream, and Giants-Lions announcer made a remark to the effect of the Giants have gone under in the last 15 games or 15 of their last 16 games, and it went into halftime, and they were moving the ball, but a lot of turnovers, so it was 23 points. The over-under was at 44, something 45. And we all decided it was an awesome idea to take the over because we thought that they were going to come out in the second half and look a lot different. And as you can see, they did. They came out and they scored 26 points in the second half, and they were able to get that over. So, again, a couple bizarre touchdowns, but that went our way as well. One that didn't go our way was this one. I did have the Broncos winning. I thought Russ, I was on the Russ wagon. I really thought, okay, they can win certain games. They can certainly win this one, and it would keep it competitive. So what they're doing with these 2 teams, I don't know. I'll have to reassess. But I did think Russ was going to win, and I also thought the Cowboys won we got. I thought the Cowboys won, I thought they were going to have the Cowboys look really strong. So now they look competitive with the Eagles. Now the Commanders just beat the Eagles. Cowboys look strong. They beat the Giants. Now the Giants, they've played well. They beat the Commanders, I believe. So all these teams, like any one of these teams is believable to win that division and possibly to go even further. So I think that's why they were going to have the Cowboys beat the Giants pretty decisively. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. This one I brought up in my live stream. I noticed the Bengals were only giving 3.5 to the Steelers, and I did advise people to go ahead and take the Steelers with the 3.5. To me, it just seemed like a trap. So that one didn't go our way. But most of them, as you can see, I didn't get to write them all down because we were doing a lot live. Boise State, I did pick them in men's basketball. They're 0-4 or something on the over. I picked the over. They didn't hit for us. But as I said, we had a lot of ones go our way, which was, I think, because they were just trap games. These are the ones that, in my opinion, most of the public was probably going to be taking the opposite team, and in that case, you always know that you're probably gonna win. Now, sometimes the public gets paid out, of course, but not all the time. Moving to basketball, actually, I'll go to basketball, then we'll go to tonight's game. So this one we weren't able to get. I thought after they destroyed the Rockets at home, people were going to expect it to be different and bet the opposite. I try and use that kind of psychology. Mavericks are also very bad against the spread. I thought that was going to improve. It didn't, so unfortunately, we didn't get that one, but that was only a first sequence. Now, Wyoming, this one, I don't have to check because it wasn't graded when I checked last, and I know some people that got in live because this was another one that was brought to my attention when we did my live stream, and it was at like 5.5, but then it swung to about 4.5. So I thought I got it at 5.5. I might have won this one, but I'll have to check. I wrote push because I'm pretty sure I probably pushed with my luck, but we have so many outstanding wagers, it's crazy. But the Lakers, I did go ahead and pick with the second leg, and them I know I didn't cover in my video, but as I wanted to say, and this isn't like a push or anything. I don't get anything for this, but as you can see, back in the Discord, we decided we were going to go with the Lakers. And you can just see, I think they're, a few wins in streaks. So what I mean by that is they're going to get a couple, streak of 3-4 wins. People get some excitement behind them. They win decisively, and people actually think the Lakers are going to start doing well. So that's one thing in my Discord that it gets offered is I'm able to, you're able to get immediate information. I always tag everybody, so you get an immediate notification the second I decide to lock in like a last minute bet or a live bet. So that one was a nice one, and we picked the Knicks. That was another one I did in my live stream. I thought it could have gone either way, but I thought the Knicks were going to get it done. So we didn't get that. They got beat pretty bad. I thought the Suns were going to come out and lay an egg. Now this one again, we did get this one. We had the Pistons, and again I went over it in almost every video. You could see it was 10.5. I think I got in at 9.5. Either way, I know I covered, and almost anyone covered because it wasn't at 8 at any point. But the Kings' record against the spread, again, it's a very good record. It still is 7-3. I think that's after tonight. I'm not sure. It might not be. But my point is that just doesn't continue. So the fact that they were so good against the spread was the biggest reason. I didn't care who they were playing. So when I decided I was going to fade them, like last night, I wasn't even sure who they were playing. I saw they were playing the Pistons, and that's why we faded them. So that metric really does come through. Nets, we did pick the right team. Again, these were all on my live stream. So a lot of my basketball where I went over my live stream, just because a lot of people wanted some picks, and this one I was going to stay away from, but we wound up going Brooklyn. We did, and it was like 7.5, I think, yeah. And the reasoning was, again, I thought Kyrie got a 5-game suspension. A couple guys went after him pretty hard. Then he apologized. He paid his penance, whatever, went to the Jewish community, and now he's playing again. So I didn't think they were going to do all that just to bring him back and shame him, especially after they had that other big win the other night. It seems more like they were maybe a compromise was made. So that's why I believe, and they played actually more like a team, where they were all doing pretty good. So I do believe something was done, and the Nets might be really good going forward. That's just my opinion. Again, based off the fact that it was weird it came back so quick, and then, they have such a great game. He would have like looked worse than they make Westbrook look if they wanted to. So that one we got. We did miss this one. Another one I brought up. I might have brought this up in my last video, but I also brought it up in the live chat. I did like the Warriors to cover. They didn't. My reasoning was, it was partially true because I said, they kept pushing that the Warriors suck on the road. They can't win on the road and all these different things. So I thought, well, Clay hit 10 triples. It's crazy. So they never win on the road, etc. So I thought, okay, they're gonna win on the road, and they're gonna usually when they win, they run ahead with it. They win by 15, 20. They're ahead by like 18 something in the fourth quarter. This game didn't go that way. We didn't get the points. We needed a couple more. So that one we didn't get, and the other one we didn't get here was the Mavericks. Like I said, I had the same. They're really bad against the spread, so I'll take them again for a second leg. I'm not really worried about that. And Denver, it was without joke. I thought there was a chance that they were going to have maybe them do an upset, but then I thought, nah, Dallas is going. People are going to be fading Dallas after a couple big wins. So I took them thinking that, okay, they'll make up that win. And then, we got the Lakers. I didn't even look at who played or anything like that with the Lakers. I just liked, again, that metric. And then for tonight's game, this is, again, all covered in the live stream and my Discord and things like that. Chargers to cover. And I think I went over it a couple times, too, in my last videos. I think I did. I like the Chargers to cover 5.5. It was, in my opinion, going to be a very close game. And I didn't think at home they were going to let the Chiefs run away with the game. I think they want to make the Chargers look competitive. I thought there was upset potential, but with 5.5, I think a lot of people were taking the Chiefs thinking, we can easily win by a touchdown. So that one was a good one. That one came through, the Chargers. They looked a lot better, again, than I thought they would. So overall, we had a really good day. We nailed most of the football. As far as basketball, we missed, I had the Baylor to go under. It went over by a few points, so we didn't get that. Or Oregon was another one we didn't get. Zaga was one that we brought up in the chat. A lot of people were pushing Gonzaga, so a lot of people picked Gonzaga. So again, the people that comment and things of that nature, they know their stuff. So it's more like a think tank. That's why I like, again, I never want to like pushing on people, but Discord, I don't gain anything. I like it if people join. It's cool. We can, more people to talk to. But it's really for if you want, if you want last minute, picks. That's the best way I can do it. I can't call you guys. So it's a cool way to get that done. I'm going to go into tomorrow's game, of course. Of course, tonight's game was riddled with shenanigans. They had to set it up so it was a close game, but Mahomes had to have a nice comeback. He's the new Brady, so we can expect a lot of these going forward. Allen's going to have his as well, but, Mahomes, he even looked like Brady. You see how calm he looked? When he looks that calm, he's going to win. You can just tell the difference when he looks flustered. So, it's unfortunate you can't make, like, immediate live bets on, like, the next play. Because on the play, Herbert, his first play, I noticed this as a trend. After the team that's going to win wins, like the Chiefs, and then the other team, the red herring, with like 45 seconds left, in this case it was 30, 3 timeouts, and they're like, let's see if they can get a field goal range. But they're not going to. The first play is always a sack, or one of they always get sacked if you noticed, and they have to burn a timeout. So I remember watching, it was first, and I said, he's going to get sacked. He got sacked. Next play, I'm thinking he's probably going to throw an error throw, and he throws an interception. Now, I knew that because I could just recall thousands of other scenarios in the past how games ended that way. Maybe you guys can. Team comes ahead and wins. The other team, they get sacked on like the first or second play. Then they're rushing, and then they throw like a bad throw. So, maybe it's just me, but you guys have seen a lot of football. I'd be curious to see if you guys also noticed that trend, because if I had money, at the time, if I had the availability to drop money on a specific play, like what's going to happen on this next play, I would have done it. But unfortunately, my book only offers, like a little bit, like are they going to score, things of that nature. So, but I knew he was going to get sacked on that first play. And if you guys think back, there's so many times he did. So it might seem irrelevant, but it's just a weird trend I noticed. I'm curious why they do it. They could just have him, throw a few incompletions, but it's always a big sack, and maybe it's just pump the defense up. I'm not sure. But yeah, like I said, we had a very good day. We still have some, of course, it's never perfect, that are going to be on second legs. So we got a second leg for the Warriors in Oregon, for the Mavs. All these ones we close out, the 1 o'clock games. And we'll be moving to a third leg on Boise. On that one, I really like, it's just the clips. I'll go into that metric at NBA for a third leg. Again, I always try and save the ones with the best percentage for second, third legs, just because, you want them to come through and you have a little more information. So now we have another week of college basketball, of the NBA, or a couple days of the NBA and games. So certain teams that are at certain percentages, like under 20, they're just not going to hold for long. That's why the Lakers won, So Dallas is going to get off that soon. All these other teams. So I always try and save that metric. If you notice, almost all of our big wins, like third leg wins, are literally just metrics. Some are teams I've never heard of. We picked UMBC the other day, some college, just because they were 0-4 on the spread. So it's a metric none of the handicappers talk about, but it's vitally important. But yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to recap everything. I did my live video is up if you want to watch it. There's not much, it's but you might be able, I think you'll like it because you can kind of, you can fast forward it if you want, but you'll be able to see in real time kind of, the game going on and just stuff I noticed and stuff everyone else noticed. And I think it's interesting, especially when you're seeing something, everyone's seeing it at the same time. And it's like, okay, how did this just happen? Or people are watching different games and they'll all say, that's weird. At the same time, we punted the ball. So it's definitely choreographed, the whole thing. But yeah, I do find it interesting. But I do thank everybody that came to the live stream. It was great. I had an awesome time doing it. As I said, I'd like to do it more. I'm more of a night person, but we can do them at whatever time going forward, and either discuss a specific topic or leave it more like I like it, just an open forum, open topic. Whatever people want to talk about, we can go into. I think that's really cool. But yeah, so thank you everybody for all the support, and as I said, I'll put my Discord link in here if you want to join that. That way you always have it's the quickest way you'll be able to get the picks, the information. And I'll make sure that we're going to, of course, football, basketball tomorrow. We got some teams I like playing, Blazers, Knicks, Wolves, so it should be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a couple traps in here, just at a glance, possible traps, I should say. Not like definite traps, but, teams maybe like Cleveland here looks a little interesting. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm glad for everyone that did good today. I know a lot of people did well. We didn't, like I said, we didn't hit them all, but I know we shot around like 60 to 70%. And even if on every day we shot 50%, even if we shot 40% every day, with the system we're gonna keep profiting. We had hit 300 or something more, 200 I think it was, and that was in like 4 or 5 days ago. And then since then we had a bunch of more sequences that I'm just waiting to close out, and then I'll total that up. So, if you've been following and you see my video on the system, then you know how that works. We've been doing really good, and I always advise people for the second and third legs, try and pick the best metrics instead of just wanting your money back and immediately dropping it on the only game on. I've done that before, and we always want the best metrics. But that's all I have. I will have tomorrow's games up, hopefully pretty early, definitely daytime. That way everybody has time to make their picks. Take care and happy earnings.